Good evening. I am Anitha, Assistant Professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Let me discuss about the topic constraints in clustering. What is clustering and data mining? Clustering is the most important types of process in data mining. The main work of clustering is converting a group of abstract or different objects into similar objects. It is also used for separating the data or objects into a set of data or objects which finally gets into a group of subclasses called clusters. Various data objects in a clusters are considered as a single group. We firstly divide the given information into groups and all similar data are assigned to one group. Next, constraint clustering is an approach to cluster the data while it incorporate the domain knowledge in form of constraints. First, coming to domain knowledge, and it has a constraint clustering. One is input, constraint clustering, and then output. All data including input, constraints, and domain knowledge are processed in clustering process with constraints given the output clusters as an output. Next, constraint-based clustering finds clusters the satisfied users' stated preferences or constraints. It is based on the nature of constraints. Constraints-based clusters can adopt instead of different approach. There are several categories of constraints which are as follows. Constraints as individual objects. It can be defined constraints on an object to be clustered in a real estate applications. For instance, one can likely to spatial clusters only those luxury mansion worth over $1 million. This constraint confines the collections of objects to be clustered. It can simplify be managed by pre-processing. Example, implementing selections using an SQL queries, which the problem decreases to an example of unconstrained clusters. Constraints are the selections of clustering parameters. A user can like to set a desired areas for each clustering parameters. Clustering parameters are generally quite specific to the given cluster algorithm. Examples of parameters contain K, the desired number of clusters in a K means algorithms, and minimum points of number in the DB scan algorithm. Algorithms such user stated parameters can strongly hold the cluster's results. They are generally confined to the algorithm itself. Therefore, the fine tunes and processing in general not treated as follows constraint based clusterings. Data mining is also called discovering the knowledge in data. Basically, it is process of uncovering the various patterns and valuable informations from given data, given large data. Data mining has a large impact on organization as it improves organizational decision thinking and making through data analysis. Data mining is mainly divided into various steps such as forms data collection to visualizations to the last part where we exact very valuable information regarding on data. Cluster is also known as a subset of similar known objects. The distance between any two objects in the clusters is always less than the distance between the two objects in the cluster. Next is constraints on distance or similarity function. It can define several distances or similarity functions for definite attributes or of the objects to be clustered, or different distances measures for limited pairs of objects. When clustering spotments, for instance, it can use several weight schemes for height, body weight, age, and skill levels. And it's the most important type of process in data mining. The main work of clustering is converted a group of abstract or different objects into similar objects. It is also used for separating the data or objects into a set of data or objects which finally gets into a group of subclass called a clusters. Various data objects in a clusters are considered as one single group. We firstly divide the given information into groups, and the all the similar data are assigned to one group. Next, semi-supervised clustering based on partial supervisions. The quality of unsupervised clustering can be essentially improved using some weak from a form of the supervision. Some of the data mining of clustering in various reasons. Why do we use clustering and data mining? One is for various reasons. One is for scalability, interpretability, easy to handle noisy data, able to deal with various attributes, high dimensionality. and this can be in the form of pairwise constraints, pair of objects labeled as owned by the same or different clusters. Such a cluster constraint clusters process is known as semi-supervised clustering. Thank you.